Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the channel. As I log into the game to start this video, I think it's worth noting that I've heard quite a bit of positive reactions to Battlegrounds. I don't want it to just feel like I'm just ranting about this, and I did mention in one of my videos this week that they actually helped me decide my next rank up, because the Battlegrounds calendar gave away not just free energy refills, but trophy tokens to the tune of 2 free 6-star generic 6-stones. Just for logging into the game. Not playing any Battlegrounds matches. No strings attached. And given that I took away some of the Battlegrounds objectives that rewarded you just for trying to play Battlegrounds, it was really nice. It's also worth noting that they've probably spent about $1 million plus coding this thing and testing this thing. And we know months and months and months of beta tests, even though if you go to Battlegrounds, the funny thing, and always claim your crystals, kids, but the funny thing is, it still calls it a beta, right? Even though it's on the alpha server. So, who knows? Who knows if, I guess they take away the beta now. Anyhow, amongst the objectives, we have to acknowledge that this is a pay-to-win mode that Kabam wants a financial return from, that hopefully will give them a profit at some point, and that's going to take hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of summoners' actual cash. So, yeah, they aren't doing this as a favor to the community, they're also doing this as a way to keep the game alive. And that's why I'm actually very thankful that the whales of this game whale out, because I both can't afford to do that, and even if I could, I don't think I would be using my resources that way. But if everybody spent how I spend, or of course a lot less than I spend, the game wouldn't exist. And I don't want this to go the way of Realm of Champions. With that being said, we have ourselves a pretty good forum post that was sent over to me by my man Double R, by Bagheera, that talks about the reasons why he hates Battlegrounds, and I think it's worth noting that these are some of the reasons, even though I haven't made a video about it really until this, that I've heard from other people. 1. You spend 1/4 of your energy that could be used for quests for no reward. Not even a token. Not even thanks for trying. So, again, if they brought back the objective that said play 5 Battlegrounds matches and you get 100 trophy tokens, that would be a way to do that. Currently, at least for that first week, you got that equivalent for not even trying, for just logging into the game, which, again, I'm not complaining. I really appreciated that. But also, the whole point of logging in and playing was at least, having to go through and spend the energy. Number 2, you consistently get matched up to someone who has a deeper roster than you and is a better player, so you have no hope of winning. Now, I do think this has improved, and certainly they know that people were sandbagging their rosters and trying to outsmart the algorithm, and were succeeding. But there is no perfect formula for this. There are going to be times, no matter what, where you have to just suck it up and realize that you're playing a deeper roster. And the odds of winning might be 75% them, 25% you. But I have both lost matchups where I had the much deeper roster and won matchups where the guy had a much deeper roster. So I've been on both ends of this in Battlegrounds. And I know that matchmaking will get better and should get better, but at the same time, it's to be expected. Number 3, you have to sink 15 minutes of your life that you can never get back to lose at the mode with no token reward. Well, 15 minutes is a decent amount of time, but not that bad. I mean, it took me a lot more than 15 minutes when I would do incursions with my Battle Realm bestie, Katie Candy, before she retired. And we would do at least double that for pretty minimal rewards at the grand scheme of things. So, I don't know. All these points, I get people think them, but there are some counter-arguments to them. And number 4, solo and alliance rewards are gated by having to pay for the mode and be winning or being the top 10% player. If you want to gate it, just don't let me play it and tease me with rewards I have no hope of getting. Now, that is supposed to be the incentive to pay as an alliance. And my alliance, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But that's one of the biggest complaints of the mode. And again, I get why people say that. And lastly, playing with the node buff that makes it impossible for a weak player like me to even have a chance to learn how to get better. And the argument to that would be, well, Battlegrounds isn't really the place to learn how to get better. It's for when you want to compete with your best skills. Maybe you want to practice in the arena. Maybe you want to practice in literal practice mode when it's not bugged. Or maybe you want to get better by ranking up your champions and practicing in event quest or side quest or whatever. So it's a unique Battlegrounds post. And I do think the word hate is overused. And so when he says he hates Battlegrounds, I mean, maybe he actually does hate it, but maybe he just strongly dislikes it. I don't know. My takeaway, though, is it's good feedback, but it's also... The reality that we live in is that Kabam needs to get their money back. And they've set it up in a pro-spending mode that free-to-play players in some ways can make ends, but they're going to be blocked after a certain amount of progression. And Kabam set it up that way, you know? It's their playground. We have to play in it. Also, it's worth noting, I can't say this enough. I probably don't say this enough, period. We don't own any of this. We don't own our accounts. We don't own our champions. We're just renting the code. If Kabam decided to shut off the servers, we would have no grounds for refunds. We would have no ability to get our roster back. We'd just be done. So I look at this game the same way I look at my YouTube channel. Someday, maybe soon, it's going to be gone. So I'm just going to enjoy every day and live in the moment and be thankful for the team that I have while trying to be responsible and not give the Marvel Casino of Champions too much of my wallet or time or whatever, even though I often give it both. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.